What's up, y'all? I want to welcome you back to my channel. And today we are talking taxes for beauty professionals and hairstylists in particular. April 15th is right around the corner. And I know for some of y'all, you haven't even gotten started yet. And for some of us, it's just a stressful time. And on this video, I'm going to break it down step by step how to get started filing your taxes if you are new to this, right? If you just don't know where to start, this is the video for you. Whoa. Not too long ago, I made a TikTok video regarding taxes for hairstylists. And I was talking about how I didn't always file my taxes. I also shared some things that my accountant shared with me when I filed my taxes for last year. The video went crazy. I was not expecting that video to do that well. There were a few comments from beauty professionals, hairstylists, who were just like, I don't file my taxes and I need to know where to start. So this video is for you. All right. Now, if y'all hear airplanes and stuff outside, just bear with me because if you've seen my last video, you know that I'm definitely trying to get the hang of this and it has been a lot. But I am showing up because I got a job to do. All right. So let's go ahead and get right into it. First thing you need to know is your filing status. Now, do you know if you are considered an employee at the salon or at the place that you work, or are you considered self-employed, right? So if the place you work for has given you a W-2, that would mean that you are considered an employee. If you received a 1099 or nothing at all, you would be considered an independent contractor or self-employed. Okay. So before you can even know how to file, you need to know which one of those you fall under. A lot of times, beauty professionals are considered independent contractors if we work out of a suite, if we rent a chair, if we work in a commission-based salon, or if we work from home. All right. So 9 times out of 10, you would be considered an independent contractor unless you work for, say, like a JC Penney or a franchise, a Supercuts, or an Ulta salon, anywhere where they give you a check and take taxes out for you, you would be considered an employee. All right. So that's the first thing you need to know. So the next thing you need to do is to take some time and go through all of the payment sources you have used. Okay, so this would be your Zelle, your Cash App, your Apple Pay, your Venmo, your PayPal. However you allow your clients to pay you for your services, that is where you would look to track what you earn. Go through all of those for the last year. It can take some time, but you must do it. Okay. Tally up all of those numbers and set that to the side. You need to know that all of that will be counted as income, and we'll get into more of that a little later in this video. Keep in mind that if you have not been tracking your earnings from these different apps or these different sources, now would be the time to do so. It would be very wise for you to look at what you earn weekly or monthly and just make sure you are staying on top of that. Okay, so you're not running around all crazy at the end of the year trying to tally up these numbers. Certain booking sites will keep this information for you. Like for instance, I use StyleSeat, and at the end of the year, they send me a 1099 with everything that I've made. They even show me what I make monthly. It's very, very simplified and easy for me to just take it to my accountant at the end of the year. The next thing you need to do is start tracking your expenses. Okay, now as a hairstylist or a beauty professional, we can write off quite a bit of things. Do so much more than just hair nowadays. Like a lot of us are content creators. So think about all the things you use to operate your business. So obviously you will write off things like your rent, your phone bill, your tools, your supplies. Those are the obvious things, your education. But there are some not so obvious things that you could be writing off and you might not have known that you could do that. So, for instance, if you pay for apps, editing apps, I use Canva Pro, I use Lightroom, I use a lot of editing software. All of that stuff can be written off. If you're paying for it monthly, write it off. Your booking sites can be written off. If you buy snacks for your clients at the salon, you can write that stuff off. Um, Anything you do for marketing, your flyers, your business cards, if you run ads on social media, write all of that off too. Even your phone. If you bought you a new phone that you use for business, that is considered an office expense. Another thing you can do to simplify tracking your expenses would be to use something like a QuickBooks, a Google spreadsheet, any type of app you can find that can track your expenses would be very, very useful for you, because a lot of times we're not keeping up with all those little receipts. You know what I mean? So if you link your business bank account, which you should have, and that's a whole nother video, but if you link your account to say a QuickBooks, everything you buy will be tracked there. And again, it'll be easy to take that stuff right to your accountant. Now, I want to double back to what I spoke about earlier pertaining to whatever you use to collect payments from your clients. Now, if you've collected over $600 on any of those payment sources, you will have to pay taxes on that money. Now, at times you will get a 1099. As I mentioned, Style Seat gives me a 1099, but Cash App may not give you a 1099. So it's up to you to report those earnings, right? Because if you do not, trust and believe they're coming for you. Okay. So I said this on a TikTok video and I will say it again. A lot of times people try to fly under the radar by using things like a Cash App or Zelle or Apple Pay. But you definitely have to keep in mind that if you are not reporting this income, it will come back to bite you in the ass, for lack of better words. We are living in a cashless society now. Everything is documented. And you got to understand that Cash App is a business in itself. Venmo is a business in itself. So, as the business, they do not want to be held financially responsible for all the money that is coming through that app, right? So, it's like, this is what we made, but this is what she made. Okay. She made $10,000 this year on Venmo. You do not pay taxes on your money that falls back on whatever resource, whatever source you're using. And that's not how it works. You cannot get away with it. You know what I mean? So just keep in mind the world we live in, everything is digital, everything is documented. So you got to pay taxes on that money, babe. In a nutshell, you have to. All right. I had a young lady in the comments say that she owed 7,000 from taking payments on Cash App. All right. So stay on top of it because they want their money. Uncle Sam wants his money. So lastly, once you have all of those things in order, once you know your status, right? Once you know what you've earned, once you know what you spent, now you need to figure out how you're going to file. Now, you can do a TurboTax or go online and file your own taxes or let your cousin who do everybody taxes in the family do your taxes. It is up to you. But a lot of times as independent contractors, it can get a little stressful, right? So, me personally, I like to trust the professionals. So, if you are considered an independent contractor and you have a lot of things, a lot of moving parts to your business, and you've been scrambling to find certain things and present certain things, I would suggest you go ahead and go with an accountant. And even in doing this, make sure you find you an accountant who is familiar with your industry. Okay. And it's also wise to just build your network of professionals that you go to for your taxes or for your business, right? It's smart to just build that solid crew of people who you lean on to do what they do well, because we do beauty. That's what we do. Let them do the numbers. All right. Me personally, I have an accountant and I have a bookkeeper. They are both Black women. We speak similar language. They understand me, and they are super familiar with the industry. So it is very wise for you to find someone that you see eye to eye with. All right. I highly suggest that you start early. If you feel like it's team too much right now, I can't do my taxes this year, go ahead and do them next year. The earlier you start, the better off you will be. Depending on who you have doing your taxes, they'll kind of, help you get in a good groove and tell you some of the things that you need to look out for and be mindful of for the next tax season. I know taxes are not cute, but they are necessary. They are necessary. I remember when I first started doing my taxes, the main reason I decided to do my taxes was because I wanted to be a homeowner. I wanted a new car. I wanted to try to get a business loan and grow my business. And the first thing they asked was for proof of income. And I had nothing to show. And that was a crash course in learning how to set my company up properly and file my taxes. Right. So hopefully you've learned something from this video. I believe in you. You can do this. Like, I have been through it. Literally started from the bottom. It is not easy, but you have to do it. You have to handle your business because it will come back around, and you don't want to be smacked in the face with all of these things that you did not handle simply because they were intimidating in the moment. Right? So it's going to be hard, it's going to be stressful, but you can do it. And once you get over that hump, it's going to be smooth sailing. Trust. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. And until my next video, peace.